have one expectation when you grow citrus, and your expectation is to get the tree to fruit. Okay, so you grow your citrus, you nurture the tree for a year or two, and after 2 years you realize your tree is not giving you fruit, and you're wondering why. What did I do wrong? Sound familiar? And now you are disappointed and want to give up your tree. Well, don't give up yet, because I'm going to help you solve the problem. So stay tuned. Hello happy YouTubers, this is Marcelina. Welcome back, and for those of you who are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe guys. Also always remember to hit that notification bell so you get notified right away every time I release new video, especially video on citrus care such as this. If growing citrus interests you, join with us. Alright, so what I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to discuss several factors, actually 7 factors, why your citrus trees aren't giving fruit for you and what can you do about it to solve the problem. So here's my solution coming up. If your citrus tree is not producing fruit for you, it might be something to do with the pH. Correcting the pH is very important in agriculture and also important in home gardening. So what exactly is pH? Why is pH so important? Let me give you a handful of information on soil pH. pH stands for potential of hydrogen. It is a measure of acidity or alkalinity of a solution. So pure water has a pH of 7, which is neutral base. Acid solutions have a pH less than 7, and alkaline solutions a pH greater than 7. Citrus prefers slightly acidic soil, and a pH of 6.5 is ideal. If the pH is above 7 or lower than 6, your citrus cannot absorb proper nutrients such as nitrogen, magnesium, phosphorus, and so on. So it is very important to correct your pH. When you correct your soil pH, it is very important to water the plant first so you get a good reading, because dry soil you will get false reading. Insert the probe. Make sure that you don't injure the root system, and push all the way down. If the pH is too high, then you can lower the pH. You can use vinegar or soil acidifier fertilizer. And vinegar is a quick fix. 1 teaspoon of vinegar can change dramatically and lower the pH. If the pH is too low, then you might raise a little bit by using lime. Now, after you correct the pH, you know that the pH is corrected, and the next steps that you do is to give the fertilizer. So since the pH is slightly acidic right now, this means that the fertilizer, the citrus root system, can absorb all those nutrients. And you check your pH once a month to make sure that it is not too off, it's not too high or too low. Give your citrus stone, or you can give it ironite, and you apply this fertilizer heavily in spring. And then after spring, when the summer is approaching, you cut down your nitrogen. You want that nitrogen to lower than phosphorus and magnesium. In summer, you're going to increase your phosphorus because you want your citrus to initiate blooming. And then after summer, you fertilize again your citrus in early fall, and your fertilizer, the potassium, should be higher than phosphorus and nitrogen, because you want to have your citrus get ready for the winter. And also, if the citrus will get good amount of potassium in the spring, the citrus has will be able to get some photosynthesis. So I have you can use a cup or one half cup of fertilizer. There is a direction on the label. You can follow the label to make sure that you apply the fertilizer properly. So I'm going to spread this on the base of the tree. And work on around the base, work on to soil. Alright, so after you check the pH, you fertilize because the pH is already corrected and the nutrients will be absorbed by the roots. Now, after you have done that and still you don't get the fruit, well, there might be another factor. Probably your tree is not matured yet. So just be patient and give it time. And mostly trees like you grow in seeds, it takes 5 years to 10 years before you can harvest fruit. So probably that is another factor. Another factor that your citrus did not make to fruit probably is improper watering. Improper watering is one of the major problems that your citrus flower or fruit drop down. And like what you see here, this is citrus, it's already flowering. So if it is flowering, you want that flower to develop to fruit. So you have to water the tree because the tree needs a lot of energy. So it needs a lot of water when they are on this flowering stage. Now, if you water too much or if you oversaturated your citrus and always wet all the time, then you will be overwatered your plant. So your citrus flower will rot and drop down and also yellowing on the leaves. If the citrus is underwatered, the result is the same. So your citrus will be, the flower will be drying out and cannot develop to full maturity. So always correct your watering. So I recommend to do deep watering or installing irrigation. Oh my gosh, the wind is strong, guys. You hear that? My greenhouse roof is going to come out. Holy cow. All right, so that is the factors that your citrus is not producing fruit for you. So number one is incorrect pH. So the pH is not corrected. The second is nutrients. Now, before you give the nutrients to your citrus, make sure you check the pH first, because if the pH is not corrected, your citrus cannot absorb nutrients. And if the pH is too high or too low, some of the nutrients like calcium, nitrogen, and other minerals would not be available for the tree to be absorbed. So always check your pH first before you fertilize. Now you already have done the fertilization, but your tree is still not giving you fruit. Well, if it is not giving you fruit, maybe it's still young and it's not matured yet. So give it time until it matured. Now the next factor is probably seasonal. Now let me give you a little bit of information about fruiting season. Not all citrus fruit at producing fruit at all time. For example, the Meyer lemon. Meyer lemon will have a fruiting season twice. And I have my Meyer lemon there. Look at my Meyer lemon, guys. So it has fruiting season, summer and winter. So in spring, Meyer lemon will produce flower and develop the flower to fruit. So you have a harvest fruit in the summer. And in the fall, late fall, will start another bloom, and you will harvest that fruit in the winter. Calamandin, well, calamandin will fruit all year round. Like this calamandin here, I just keep it in here because it is so beautiful to just see the calamandin hanging on the tree. And this is the biggest fruit I have here. So always check your seasonal and make sure so you don't get disappointed. Now, the other factors contributing to your citrus inability to produce flower and develop to fruit is pests and diseases. Now, I mentioned in my other videos that you can try Azatec or Azatec Plus. Azatec Plus is awesome, guys. You should try it. It is awesome, and I use this Azatec Plus all the time, and I have used this spray for more than 5 years, and we did not release it until up this year, so you guys can use it. So try the Azatec Plus and see what will happen. You might like it. So like mealybugs, they sack out of your plant until your plant dries out. So if there is not enough water, then your tree cannot photosynthesize, because hydrogen ions react to water, and water and hydrogen must be important in the plant. Hydrogen ion is going to help that photosynthesis by building up that sugar so your plant can develop flower and produce the fruit. Is the information helpful? Hit subscribe, guys, like, and share it with friends. My favorite waitress who always served me for breakfast said, "Marcelina, I really want to learn how to grow vegetable. Food now is crazy, it's expensive." And I said, "I know, like the food you serve us, egg and pancake for $20. She laughed. So I showed her my YouTube channel, and she was surprised. She said, "I did not know you have a YouTube channel." And I said, "Yes, I do." So she asked me what to do, and I told her, just hit subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified when I release new video. So see, subscribe. Shout out to all my subscribers out there. Thank you guys for subscribing this channel. I will do my best to give you as much good information as I can, especially information on citrus care. As a matter of fact, interest in citrus increases due to their underlying health benefits. The benefits like drinking lemon water or lemon tea is supposed to help boost the immune system, and especially during pandemic where many people got sick. So with that case, more and more people nowadays are inquiring to learn how to grow their own citrus, and hopefully this information will guide you or help you. And if you follow these steps, you should be able to make your citrus produces fruit. And just keep in mind, don't fertilize your tree until you fix the pH, because if pH is not corrected, some of the nutrients will not be available to your citrus. If citrus prefers 6.5 pH, and if the pH is below 6, like 4 or 5, it would be too acidic for your citrus. And if it is too acidic, you are building too much calcium in soil, and calcium has a tendency to affect your citrus growth, especially the growth of the fruit. And calcium retard your tree and also make your fruit a little bit smaller. So keep an eye on your pH. Also, when the pH is too high or too alkaline, the nutrients like iron, manganese, nitrogen also not available by the roots to be absorbed. And in that case, you will be seeing so many problems to your citrus, like your citrus will be attacked by pests and diseases, and also will be nutrient deficiency. You will be seeing like yellowing of the leaves, the term is called iron deficiency or iron chlorosis. So that is the problem of high pH. Now, I did not mention the sunlight. Sunlight is also part of the 7 factors why your citrus is not producing fruit. Sunlight provides energy to your citrus to photosynthesize. If your citrus is not getting the right amount of sunlight, it doesn't bloom. So give it at least 8 to 12 hours of direct sun. Don't hide your citrus in the shade. And citrus is tropical, so it prefers warm temperature. If you live in subtropical region, make sure you bring your citrus indoor. If you have greenhouse, bring in the greenhouse, because citrus cannot live winter. Now let's talk a little bit about hydrogen ions and the roles to your plants. Hydrogen is very important in the photosynthesis because it sends that electrons to activate those enzymes, and it helps in the production of sugar, and it has to attract with water, and so that the photosynthesis can be processed. And if the water is less available to your plant, so you have less hydrogen ions. Now you see hydrogens in atmosphere or the surrounding plant environment. And also you see it in hydrogen peroxide. That's why when you use hydrogen peroxide, add to your water, and when you water your seed germination, the hydrogen ion helps your germination to germinate faster. And also when the seedlings starting to grow, it also helps the immune system of the seedlings to grow a little bit healthier and bigger. And not just the seedling, also helps in the production of the fruit and also in the adventitious fruit. So it is important that hydrogen must be present. If it is too acidic, you have less hydrogen present in the soil. And I'm not going to give you more information on hydrogen, so this is just the information for now. I will touch that later on this next video about the role of hydrogen and oxygen in the agricultural crops. Now let's talk about which citrus you should buy and grow, and by hearing this information it will help you make a wise purchasing decision. So I have my citrus here grown in different methods. So I have my lime grown on root, I have my calamandin grown from seed, and I have grafted citrus. Now the huge factor if the citrus was grafted or grown from on seed. While growing from a seed sounds fun and easy, but actually is a less than ideal to grow citrus, especially if you have no patience to wait when your citrus is going to give you fruit, because citrus will give you fruit and matured within 5 to 10 years. And this calamandin is not giving me fruit. This is 3-year-old. I have to wait 5 to 10 years before I can harvest fruit. Now if you grow citrus from on root, you will get fruit within a year or two. Grafted citrus, you will get fruit within 2 years. Now let's talk about the advantage and disadvantage of growing citrus on root and citrus from grafted. Actually, you will get guaranteed fruit between the two, but the disadvantage is that grafted citrus, like this one here, the line, mostly you sow in the nursery sold grafted citrus. Grafted citrus is a citrus where the scion or the tissue part of a tree is inserted to or grafted to a strong stock of a different citrus varieties. The purpose of grafting is to ensure the tree will survive during harsh weather or harsh environment, and also the tree has a resistance to pests and diseases. Now the disadvantage of growing grafted is that the lifespan is shorter, probably 7 years. That is the lifespan of the tree in most cases. And if you buy on growth, you have a long life tree. So if you buy a lime, this is on growth, then you get to enjoy the fruit for a period of a year, because it is grafted. It is not grafted, it is grown in the same tree. In my opinion, if I grow citrus and buy citrus, I would go 100% purchase the citrus grown on root. If you guys want to buy citrus that is grown on root, check cashewgreens.com, because cashewgreens.com sell citrus that is most likely grown on root. All the products here, guys, I will link below this video. Just check the link description and get from there. So this is for now. Time to wrap up. Thank you for watching, guys. This is Marcelina at cashewgreens.com. See you next time. A peace.